Death and Dementia. I think this is like video 14. But mom and dad are in the home, and kind of how the decline, or we saw the decline happening. Mom and dad would start forgetting basic things. I mentioned like mom couldn't plug in her cell phone. The TV became a huge deal, and that's, I mean, they do still do their walks, and they have friends downstairs, but TV's a big deal, especially at night for them. They want to keep up on the news and watch movies. We knew that they were beyond the point of understanding how to switch HDMI to get Netflix or any of the other channels like that to watch movies. So it's just going to be basic TV. The provider, the TV's provided by the facility, so they have the account. And I tried getting them the voice controlled remote, but trying to deal with their streaming service was ridiculous because you don't have the account number because it's not your account, and it became literally probably 4 or 5 hours of different phone calls, and I accomplished nothing through that. And so, kind of figure out they're accidentally switching the HDMI, and they didn't know how to get back. And with the new remotes, you have 30, 40 freaking buttons, and they were just hitting the wrong one, screwing them up. It was a constant problem, and I had to keep calling people from the desk to go up and switch the HDMI back and forth. So once again, mom and dad's problem is my problem, my brother's problem as well. And here's where I mentioned before, try to think it through. I want to solve the problem so bad that I got tunnel vision. I still do it once in a while. And so when I figured the problem was the remote, what I did is I went to mom and dad's house. I had some plastic clay, and I took an impression of their remote control, came home, and I poured dental plaster in it. So I made a replica of their remote control. I bought a dental forming machine which vacuum forms plastic, and I put that on there, and I basically vacuum formed a cover, and the only thing that was that they were able to touch would be the on and off button for the TV, the volume, and the channel up and down. I figured problem solved. I was probably $400 freaking dollars into it at the time, and it took me probably a couple weeks to accomplish, but I figured good for me. I got something accomplished, and they would grab it too hard, and my job certainly wasn't perfect. Started making another one, and the friend of the family that helps us with their appointments pointed out that, hey, there's this thing on Amazon, and it's what is it called, a flipper. It's a remote control for the elderly, which I could have got off my ass and done a little bit of research on that before going out and spending all the freaking time and money doing it the other way. So lesson learned. But if that's something like that happens to you, do a little research. There are a lot of good products out there for the elderly. The flipper remote, which I put a link onto through my Amazon Associates account if you want to see that, worked great. The one issue we had, and I don't know if it's part of the remote itself or the way it was programmed, could have been user error, but you had to point it directly at the box on the wall. And slowly they forgot how to use that. And so now we're going to Jubilee, which my brother is going to install. That's also on a link on here, and I'll let you know how that goes. It hopefully will be installed in the next week or so. And the Jubilee, the way it's advertised at least, is I'll be able to access their phone through an app on my phone. So I can start a movie for them at night. I can change the channels for them. I can turn the TV on and off from my own home. And hopefully that's going to work. And it also has video phone calls through the TV. So that could be the game changer for that. So one of the things we noticed about mom as she progressively got worse is she used to really keep in contact, phone and email. And then she slowly lost the ability to do emails. And now she's at the point where she doesn't even know how to plug her computer in or turn her computer on. So the emails is gone. And the phone part with the cell phone, luckily she can still hit the single button. The big thing for people with dementia is if they need to learn these things before the dementia really kicks in, and hopefully they'll remember them for a little while after the dementia kicks in. At least that's the way it is for our folks. Dad can't work a cell phone or a house phone anymore. And we end up getting them, instead of having the handheld house phone, their memory kind of regressed to the point where you had the old phone with the cord and all that. So we got them one of those with buttons. And each button just has a picture of us. So they can hit the button with the picture and it comes to us. That's something I put a link on as well. And so far, that's working pretty well. So you're going to have to probably program their phones. And so like I said, if something's in mom's cell phone, she can, for the most part, make a phone call. Or if the picture is up, I think there's like 9 buttons for pictures on the house phone. That seems to work now. Texting for her, she wasn't that good at it before the dementia. Now it's kind of a jumbled mess if I ever get a text from her to where you just really don't understand what it is. And the texts as well as conversations now, it's like a horrible game of charades. The words in the sentences don't match each other. They don't combine to form a thought. And so there's a lot of trying to figure out what exactly they're asking you for when they call, when you talk to them in person, or especially a text message. One of the things that we noticed too, and I'm glad mom and dad can't watch these videos, but after they moved into their apartment, dad couldn't find the bathroom at night. And we're trying to figure out why we left the lights on the bathroom. It was right adjoining the bedroom and it just really didn't make sense. And he'd always kind of end up by the sink in the front room of the apartment. And we couldn't figure out why he'd always end up in the same place and going to the bathroom, unfortunately. And but then we thought about it. In their old house where they lived for 50 plus years, when he would get out of bed, he would walk to the end of the bed, take a left, and then take a right, and he was in the bathroom. And if you do the same walking pattern where he is now, the bed is different, situated differently, the bathroom is situated differently. But if he gets out of bed at night, walks to the foot of the bed, takes a left, and then a right, he's by the sink. And so the pattern kind of made sense. I don't know how to solve it. I don't know if there is a way to solve it. And it's a continuing issue. In a facility like this, the nice thing is they'll come and they'll do cleanups, and they're used to dealing with that sort of thing. But I thought the pattern was kind of interesting. So started noticing that anything out of the ordinary would send them into a spin. God forbid a bill show up or something from their doctor or anything like that. That just sends them both into a spin. So we really limit what they end up getting in the mail and the phone calls. We try to limit. You can only protect them from so much. But those are some of the things to kind of look out for. Like I said, anything out of their pattern is just sends them both into a panic, especially mom. But take a look at the links if you want to go to the Amazon Associates page to get any of these things that we think might be helpful if you're in the same situation. And until the next one, God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.